All right, guys, welcome back to the show, the Performance Matters podcast. I'm your host for today, Coach Miles. Here we got our boy Iron Mike Craig in the building. We're going to go through his whole journey. We've been training him now for 6 years, so it's pretty cool to see him kind of climb the ranks and see where he's at now. And he's going to have a ton of good insight to provide for us today. So first things first, before we get started, I'm going to shout out our sponsor, Pete Method Photography. Pete Method Photography is the premier sports photographer in the Niagara region. You can hit him up at petemethodphotography.com, or if you want to hit him up on email, petemethodphotography@gmail.com. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. Okay, so Michael, welcome to the show. First things first, kind of just the early years. For the listeners who may not know you want to give a brief intro, kind of backstory about you, how you got into hockey, everything like that?
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's pretty cool. I just grew up here in St. Catharines, playing minor hockey in the area, and just like a lot of kids playing every sport growing up, playing high school sports, and then obviously just picking hockey, and that's kind of just been my passion. Like you said, when I started, just ever since I was 3 years old, putting on skates. So that's kind of just been my thing.
That's kind of common feedback of every successful hockey player, right? When did you say Crosby was skating when he was like 1 or 2?
Yeah, it's always 3 years old. He got skates on. Yeah.
If your kid is 4 and he's not skating or she's not skating, you're too late.
You're
you
done.
know what I mean?
It's
Sorry
done.
to tell you, you're behind the 8 ball. That's awesome. And funny enough, the way we first met, just real quick, actually was when you're playing football, right? When I was coaching the Niagara Spears, as I still do, but back probably like 2015 or 2016 or something. We were coaching in the summers between playing university football and coaching you guys. We had one of the best QBs you never heard of here, Mike Craig.
Yeah, trying my best.
Yeah, hell of a team. O-line was crazy. Running backs made you look good too, but nonetheless, you guys deserve more, man. I wish we could have went all the way, but some incredible memories nonetheless. And I think it kind of speaks to what you said too, how playing all different sports sometimes kind of helps you play your main sport better. Like, do you ever think football ever had any positive impact on hockey? Like,
oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I loved hockey, obviously, growing up. I also played everything, right? Like, it was football, it was lacrosse all the way. Yeah. And then one day, I played lacrosse all the way, and I was like, I want to try football. I'm playing everything. And then, football was awesome, but at the same time, I was like a hockey player playing football kind of in my head. You know what I mean? I was like, this is fun. I love it. Yeah. And there's definitely, especially playing quarterback, right? Like, transferable skills to playing defenseman. Hockey's kind of like the same idea.
See the whole field, see the ice.
Like, everything's in front of you kind of the whole time. So there's obviously, and then, the leadership qualities, playing quarterback, all that stuff. I mean, we were young, but we felt like we were in the pros, right? Like, we were playing real ball.
Yeah, looking back, I felt like Nick Saban for sure. Shout out to your dad for kind of giving us the reins and letting us do our thing too, right? But his dad was the head coach at the time. That's awesome. So, kind of been into your hockey whole life. Like, who was kind of like your biggest hockey influences those early years? Like, was it whether it was family members, coaches? Like, a lot of guys are like, I looked up to my dad or my cousin or whoever. Obviously, you're the big brother. So, who did you kind of look up to, like growing up and kind of getting your start in hockey?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's probably gonna say their parents, right? Like, obviously, mom and dad are huge. Like, my dad was full blown into the hockey, but he also kind of like let me do my thing, right? Like, he never like coached or anything. He was kind of like
same thing I just said with us coaching. It's so funny you say
like
that.
Super like supportive. Obviously, they pushed me, but it was never like like you have to do this. It was all kind of like me. Like, I was like self-driven kind of, and he kind of just was the catalyst that gave me every opportunity. Like, all the new gear, all paying for the ice, driving, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So he gave me, and like him and my mom gave me every opportunity. But then, kind of as you get older, right? It's those important years when you're 11 to 15, or you have to have good coaches. So we had unbelievable coaches.
I'm sure you can name 100 of them.
Yeah, there's too much to list, but those are the kind of those important years where coaches who actually care and are in it for the right reasons, they kind of just like set you up for success.
Right. So kind of when we first met, like hockey wise, you're playing junior B at that time. So what did that stage kind of teach you about yourself and just about the game in general? Right, that was like I would think that's like your first big opportunity after playing, AAA.
Yeah.
Now you're like, okay, I'm in the juniors. Like, this is my first big next step, right?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because like playing AAA, like everyone's so focused about like OHL draft. Like, you play that minor midget year, you get drafted. The blinders were like, for me, like the blinders were on. It was like nothing. I didn't even think about playing hockey that next season. It was like, let's get drafted, and like that was all that mattered, right? So. And then I'm thinking like, never once did it cross my mind that whole year, like, I want to play junior B that next year. Like, it wasn't even like a thought. I was just like, OHL, this, that, like, let's win the championship. Like, we were so focused. But then the opportunity came along to kind of AP and play junior B, and I kind of got my feet wet playing those games, which is a big transition. I always say that the transition from like minor hockey to junior B is way bigger than like junior hockey to college. Like, that was the biggest.
You hear that in a lot of sports,
Yeah, that was the biggest like jump. Just with the size of the players, playing with older players and stuff like that. So that was when
even the systems you find, like the systems are more sophisticated and
everything's just better, right? And you're older. But like you said, like when I got there, I was super intimidated. I remember being so scared going in that like locker room for the first time as like an affiliate player, and that's the same with like everyone that you talk to, like that everyone at AP is at some point.
Yeah, it sounds stupid, but like guys here drive cars. I had to get dropped off by my mom or dad.
That's 100% it. I was 15. There's guys, tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe some of them are, engaged or whatever.
Yeah,
like
totally,
they're older, and I'm like getting dropped off, and I'm like, I remember being so nervous. Like I look back, it's so stupid, but like everyone kind of has one of those stories. But like you were saying, like, but then when I got out there, I started
it's crazy
playing.
to have that at like 15.
Yeah. But then when I started playing, I was like, okay, like I can play with these guys, no problem. So that was kind of like that first, like, okay, like maybe I have something here, like I'm fitting in perfect, like my first day. So,
totally.
Yeah.
So and then it's kind of crazy and it's kind of unique because like you kind of hit a crossroads at 16 years old. It's so the rule's different now. We can kind of go over that later, but it's so crazy how back then at 16 you got drafted in the OHL by Niagara.
Yeah. And
then you had to decide. Again, you're at an age you can't even drive a car, for God's sake. There's a lot of things you can't do.
Yeah.
And you got to kind of decide your future there because a lot of listeners might not know. Like, what was the process back then, whether it was OHL or NCAA? Like, what was the rules?
Yeah. So before the rule changed this year, it was like you either had to, if you're drafted to the OHL, whatever the case may be, you want to pursue that. You can go to their training camp, and then as soon as you like stay, whatever it was, like 72 hours, or you play in that first exhibition game, your rights to play NCAA hockey are like voided because you're technically, like a professional, whatever they want to call it. There's
because
a lot of rules.
you've been like paid, arguably.
Yeah, so like whatever happens there, so you have to pick, like you said, before you even drive a car.
It's
insane, and it stressed me out a lot because I had the opportunity to play in the OHL, and I remember before the OHL draft, I was kind of like I was set on going to school, right? Because we had, I was skating a lot in Buffalo, like training, and that's Buffalo is like American, so it's really like NCAA, like everyone's going to school. So that was kind of the culture that I was kind of like really in those prime years, like playing university hockey would be awesome. So I was kind of already a little biased towards being a smaller guy too. Like I was like, I want to give myself the most time to develop like my strength and like my like extend my career. Whereas in the OHL, like, am I going to be ready to play the best hockey of my life at 17, 18, 19, and then it's kind of make or break, right? You have to figure stuff out by 20. And by 20, I was kind of just getting going.
Right.
So that decision was, I had my mind made up, but it's funny because before the draft, like, I wasn't like a shoo-in at all, but I was like, if I get drafted by Niagara, I want to play for the Ice Dogs, right? Like,
you
growing
had
up here, I was like,
hero.
Okay, I put that one like little stipulation in my brain. I was like, if it's Niagara somehow, because I talked to them before the draft, and I was like, if it's them, like, and I have the opportunity to play there, like, how can you say no, right? I remember like, I would shovel the ice in between the 10-minute marks. Like when I was a kid, I grew up going all the games, so I was like, man, that'd be awesome. And then it was Niagara, and I was like, damn.
Oh shit! Now I actually have to make the decision?
now I have to like put my money where. So then I went to their training camp, had a good camp, played in Thorold where I played a ton, and then the next season after that year in Thorold, they came knocking. They're like, we want you to sign, get signed up, get ready to go.
Niagara came knocking, sorry.
Yeah. The Ice Dogs are like, okay, let's get you ready to go, and that was like the real crossroads. I was like, pretty stressed out, like. At that time, I thought that the NCAA was a real viable option. I've been playing that year in junior B. I was visiting a few schools, talked to a few programs, but nothing serious. You're young, like just getting in touch, seeing a couple campuses. But then I was like, at the end of the day, I just wanted to kind of bet on myself. And like I said, being like a smaller, 17-year-old, I was like 150 pounds playing junior hockey. I wanted to kind of extend my career, and so that was a hard decision. And
then you have a degree built in. You're chasing a degree, right?
That's the whole thing, yeah. So
obviously, with the OHL, you can get it after, but
yeah, definitely. And like U Sports, 100% great hockey and all that. But my goal was like, like I said, growing up, being surrounded by NCAA hockey, that was kind of thing. So it was a hard decision, but really, I just made a pros and cons list.
Yeah. So do you remember any of them? Like just briefly, do you remember some of the pros?
All the stuff that we just talked about right there. Just like the education was a big part. But the main thing for me was I was like an undersized kid. I remember coaching me in football. Like I had nothing going on, so I was like, I need to be.
So you had to keep rolling out. You can't really see over the line.
I need to be able to play my best hockey.
Totally.
When I'm 19, 20, 21, 22, I don't want to be just finishing at that. So that NCAA trajectory kind of gave me the best path to keep playing for as long as I can. That was kind of the thought process.
Yeah, totally. Awesome. So you made that decision, and then how did you kind of get from that level from junior B to junior A? Because your first junior A opportunity would have been in Buffalo Junior Sabres, right?
Yeah.
In OJ. So how did you first make that transition?
Yeah, so I was playing in Thorold that junior B year, and it was awesome. Like being 16, like it's hard to play junior A at 16. You can only have, like junior B or junior A, but you can only have. I think at the time it was 2 16-year-olds. So I was like pretty fortunate to find a spot and contribute a lot.
Yeah.
And then, like I said briefly, I was training over in Buffalo like all the time. Like we'd go right from school. My dad would drive me right to Buffalo. We'd train.
Right.
And the Buffalo Junior Sabres, that OJHL team, kind of used the same facilities. And like you're kind of just like everyone's kind of like one thing right there. Like you're walking by everyone in the hallways. Like the coaches are on the ice working with us in the summer. They're
Yeah.
coaching this team, that team. So you kind of just build relationships.
Be so good they can't ignore you, right?
And I had a great relationship exactly with one of the coaches. And the funny thing with the Buffalo team is they could only have 3 Canadian guys. So it's the same
Okay.
idea. So you had to, they had to be selective. Like, if we want to bring a Canadian, we need to make sure we're right. So it's kind of just like the same thing with anything. Like, it was the relationships I built over there kind of gave me the opportunity. And we kind of set it in stone before that junior B year ended that, okay, I'd finish strong here and then transition to junior A. And it was seamless, right? It made perfect sense. That was kind of like, to me, there was no other option. It was like, oh, this is like I'd love to play for them. Let's go. Like,
of course.
It was, seamless.
And Smitty was already playing over there. Did you ever play with him there?
No, see, he was the
yeah.
year before me, and he did really well, and he had nothing but good things to say. So I was like, perfect, like, let's do it. Yeah.
Right. And then COVID hit. So it's kind of funny how, in a roundabout way, COVID kind of opened up a door for you, in a unique way. Like, COVID affected everybody in negative ways, but it kind of opened up a unique door for you. You want to kind of talk about that real quick?
Yeah, when I talk about this, I always say, like, COVID was horrible, obviously, like, lots of terrible things, but for me, it was
You're one of the few that
the best thing that could have happened, to be honest. Yeah, it was disappointing because in Buffalo, we were gearing up, like, we were really hitting our stride. We sucked at the beginning of the year. We were like 0-10.
Yeah.
We were like 0-6. We were getting pumped like 10-1,
Yeah.
10-2. And then at the end of the year, like, we were like the hottest team. Like, we were flying, and we won that. We had a huge upset. The team that beat us like 10-0 in the first game of the year, we beat them in the playoff series in 6 games.
Right.
So, like, we were really flying.
was it buzzing?
Yeah, and then COVID, boom, we're like at practice. We're playing, I think, the next day in Oakville, and it's funny too. I had like a coach. I had a conversation with him on the phone.
Yeah, I'm coming to watch you.
I'm coming to watch you tomorrow night. Like, we'll talk after. I'm like, awesome, this is great.
Yeah,
Boom,
nice on
COVID.
top of the
Yeah, never got to follow up on that phone call, but.
So did the OJ fully shut down at that time, or just Buffalo couldn't cross the border?
Yeah, so the border thing was the main thing. Like, you couldn't cross the border. I don't even think the OJ really played any games, but Buffalo they lost like 2 or 3 years after, so they didn't get reinstated until like.
Frig.
Yeah, so then I got I was technically like a free agent, right? I could do anything I want, so it was kind of like up in the air. Like, well, I was planning to go back in Buffalo, but now I have the opportunity to go play, in a great junior A league, in the BCHL. So
this is where it became a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, so moving over to, like I just said, with relationships, like everyone knows somebody, like a former coach that I had knows a former coach out there, make a connection, have a phone call, and then I was on my way out west.
Yeah, this way you can never burn a bridge, and this way you have to.
100%.
You know what I mean? Leave everybody with a good impression of you, because you really never know what's going to end up happening. So, and it's funny because some people would say, "Oh wow, like that's really good luck," but I always say luck is really what happens when preparation meets opportunity, right? So, yeah, that was kind of a fortunate bounce for you, so to speak, but you were ready for it based on all the training you've been putting in, and based on all the relationships you've been developing and building, based on your approach to the game. Like, let's just talk real quick pre-COVID. Talk about kind of your daily routine of, you'd come see me in the morning, we would train, and then you would fly over to Buffalo. Like, I think that, that's awesome for a high school kid to have that experience. But again, like, some of those habits you developed at that time, you probably still use now. Yeah. So you want to kind of talk about that real quick? It was like a unique opportunity.
Yeah, well, I was pretty fortunate in high school because I was playing in grade 12, and I was able to do like a phys ed co-op at my school, right? So I was getting credits to play junior hockey. So I'd wake up and have, your grade 12, you have like a spare period or whatever, and I would have 2 classes. And then I would fly, whether it was here or whatever the day was. I'd come here, train quick, and then I'd head over to Buffalo, and 30-minute drive over to Buffalo. And we were doing everything. And so it was kind of like I was almost living like a pro lifestyle at 17, where the school was like, it was still important. I was taking care of that, but it wasn't like it was like 7 to 3 every day. It was like, okay, 2 classes, take care of it, get my credits, and then I was, therapy, training, here, skating over there, driving back and forth. It was almost kind of like that pro lifestyle, which was obviously set me up to know what it takes.
Yeah, because I guess that's kind of my point. Like, even now, like, because even then, like you said, you still had to manage a couple classes. Yeah. So that kind of sets you up for university now where you're at, where Definitely. It's like, I have to manage my classes, and I have to watch film, and I have to come train, like, here with us, and I have to actually be at practice, most importantly, and I got to learn how to juggle everything. Yeah. That's a pretty cool, unique opportunity to be able to learn how to do that. So then talk a little bit about your experience out west, because even then, like, COVID was crazy out there. I remember one time you guys played 20 games in 20 days, or I can never remember the number, but I know it was absolutely
20
inhumane.
and 35.
20, so almost every other day.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Or more than every other day, I guess the math would be. Yeah. Like, you guys are playing games.
Yeah, traveling like an hour and a half there and back for a month. Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, so kind of what was your experience out west? So, because it's still kind of junior A.
Yeah.
But what do you find was like the biggest differentiator when you got out there? Was it just different competition? Was it coaching? Was it like...
Yeah, so kind of like my thought, like Buffalo is awesome, right? I have nothing.
Oh, that's nothing against OJ. I don't mean like that.
Yeah, but like in Buffalo, we played on like the 6th flight of of a parking garage, right?
Yeah.
And it was kind of hard. Like there wasn't like a ton of like fans. You got the Buffalo Sabres right next door. It's
Yeah,
kind of like
course,
more of a, we were developing and we were getting better. But when I went over to Nanaimo, like that was like, it felt like a real junior A hockey team, right?
Yeah,
it was like,
course.
this is like what the city loves, the Nanaimo Clippers. Like it was like, okay, like there's fans, like we mean a lot to the community. But I mean, my experience over there was unbelievable. But at the same time, going over there when I got that connection, I was coming over as like a 7th, 8th defenseman. Like I had nothing set in stone. It was like the coach was like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Come. Like we'll take them.
Yeah, come in random Ontarian.
Yeah, like sure. we'll take your money, like come in. They were like, well, where are you gonna live? Like I don't know. Like you're probably gonna be here for 2 weeks. Like just like, and then I got there and like you said, like I played a preseason game because COVID was weird. They're getting in games whenever they could. We were playing preseason forever. Yeah. Played a preseason game with all the young guys, do fine, whatever. Next game they try to put together their top lineup, and I wasn't part of it. And I was like, damn, like, I'm all the way across.
What did I fly across the country?
All the way across the country. Like I know I'm good enough, but I'm like, damn, like this kind of sucks. And then the next night, whatever lineup changes, I'm in playing a really good Victoria team, and I did really well. And ever since then, I was in the lineup and just kept getting better. Getting better, and then I, became a staple in the lineup for the next 3 years. So that experience was cool. Like nothing was given, right? It was all earned, but I think I was ready for that. And the COVID was insane. We were just fortunate, again, like blessing in disguise, because nothing was going on in Ontario because the provincial laws were all different. BC was a little bit lighter. So the OJ wasn't playing. Guys were here were actually just going to school, working job, or whatever. Like they weren't playing, but we were over training, skating every day. Even if we weren't playing real games until May, we were working out, skating every day. So I think that time period, even though we weren't playing, I developed like 2 times over because I was just on the ice every day working skills. So I think like if you were to look at my career on a timeline, like I got so much better in those COVID months. Yeah. Because we were just getting so many puck touches and like not a lot of games. So that kind of like accelerated me. And
that's so rare in hockey.
It's super strange.
Every hockey player plays too much hockey. Like I'm just saying, and like I know a lot of guys will maybe agree or disagree, but it's like a pretty unique opportunity, and it sounds like you guys like maximize it for sure. Yeah. So, like I said, nothing against OJ, but just the fact that you were playing in Buffalo, living in St. Catharines, like how do you find your lifestyle or your approach changed living across the country? I mean, it's just so junior A. Like I'm curious about how. Yeah, well, it was definitely like I say one of the best things that happened to me that I could have done. Just like nothing against home, but it's just like having that experience of moving across the country, having to sometimes fend for yourself, having to figure shit out. I knew that like one of the greatest parts of it. I go over there knowing nobody, and I leave with 100+ relationships, like best friends, guys you probably still talk to every single day, coaches that you love, billet parents that you love, stuff like that. You meet, so many people, fans that you have relationships with, right? Like other billet parents, like just a whole community. So that was kind of like hockey aside. Like you go across the country knowing nobody, and you come home like that experience, knowing all these people having relationships forever. Like that was kind of worth it in its own, even if the hockey part didn't work out. You know what I mean? Right. You kind of gave the answer I was hoping you would give. Yeah. Because again, that's something I talk about a lot too. I was talking with Matrix about it on a couple episodes ago. Like you said, nothing against home. Like nothing against Brock. I always bust up against Brock. But Brock's an incredible school. But I'm happy they didn't have football. Yeah. Because I'm like I had no choice but to go away, and like I just think that was so good for my personal growth. Yeah. Right. So we always say like if Brock had a team, they'd probably be really good because there's a lot of good local talent. Yeah. It's a good school, so people would come live here. Yeah. But I'm like for us local kids, I think it's good that we're forced to leave because it's just such a different like life experience. Even if you go to Mac, like 50 minutes away, you're still gonna grow up. Yeah, you learn a lot about, and you're still living like we were building. Like, we still had great family. It wasn't like we were, like, you're not working a job and like we were really well taken care of, and you're living with some of your best friends. It was unbelievable. It was the best thing that happened. Like just for growing up. Absolutely. So kind of, humble brag, but every level you've been at, you've had to come in and earn your stripes and work your way up. Like, what do you think it is about you or your approach that's kind of like allowed you to do that? Everywhere you've come in, you're a nobody, then you earn your spot. Next thing you know, you're like an assistant captain or a captain. Like every single level you've been at. Yeah. What do you think that is? Well, I just think, I like to think it's kind of cliche, but I think you might have said like you fail to the level of your preparation, right? Like somebody always say, I know that I'm. You'll never rise to the occasion. Yeah. You will always fall to the level of your system. So at the end of the day, like, you can be like nervous for an event or something like that, but at the end of the day, like, I know that I put in the work, and like I'm gonna go to school this fall, knowing that I worked my ass off for last 4 or 5 months. Like so, I'm like I know I'm gonna be good. Whether the coach sees it right now, or he sees it in a week, or he sees it in a month, like he's gonna figure it out at one point. And kind of a thing that a coach said to me like a long time, it kind of stuck with me. That was super simple because, like I said, being younger, smaller, like you don't really jump off the page as a
130-pound defenseman. You can't really shoot it hard. Like, you're a good skater, not the best skater. Not too, like, when you're not flashy,
right,
you kind of fall under the radar a little bit, right? But coach said to me, like, it's pretty funny. Like, he just said, like, fuck everybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, like, that's kind of right. So I'll go into a camp, whether this guy's the best.
That's a Tom Brady, FEA, right?
I was just like, and he said to me, and I was like, it's super simple. It's kind of funny, but I'm like, it's like,
so profound,
it's legit.
Actually.
I'm like, yeah, honestly, like, we're going for a spot. Like, at the end of the day, like, you're not going to outwork me. It doesn't matter if it takes a week, a day, a month. Like, I'm going to be better than you. So you can rest your head on that. Kind of like, it's super simple. It's kind of funny, but
you're not going to outwork me, and I know you haven't outworked me up to this point. Yeah. I know what I've put in, and there's just no way in hell that you've done anything even close, right?
And at that time, it was, when I first was thinking about that, it was like OHL scouts. It was like, they're at the games. Like, people, they got their clipboards, their jackets. It's like, like.
You see the hats and the jackets.
Yeah, you hold your stick tight. You're like nervous. I was like, fuck them. Like, I don't care. Like, screw you. You don't want me. Like, good. Like, you know what I mean? So I'll
make you look stupid one day when
that was kind of like my whole thing, and maybe a little corny, but that was kind of like all figured out.
Yeah, it's only corny if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I hope I know the answer. I'm sure I know the answer. Now looking back, are you satisfied? Are you happy that you made that NCAA decision?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can always look back like, oh, what if, but especially right now with that rule change.
Well, that's what I wanted to circle back to. I kind of alluded to it. It's so different now because just now, as of 2025, you can go to the OHL and then you can go to NCAA after.
Yeah. So,
like, I'm seeing, like, as obviously I follow your team on Instagram, I'm seeing every week guys are committing, and it's like from the Ice Dogs, from the Guelph Storm, from where, and I'm like, that's so new. It's so. I'm not even a hockey guy.
Yeah.
It's so weird to see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it definitely. We joke around the room and stuff like, oh, that would have been awesome, like having that opportunity and stuff like that. But, you can't really think like that. And I wouldn't have traded my time in Nanaimo for anything. That was like some of my favorite years ever. We had so much fun. We were winning games and we were doing it.
It was so fun for me to follow along with you. And then again, while you were in that league, Smitty was in that league too on the
Penticton.
What's the word I'm trying to use? Like the absolute dynasty of
they were
the generational.
Yeah, they were unbelievable.
Trying to find, I can't even find the words because they're obviously unbelievable. But that kind of goes back to what you said about nothing against Buffalo. But I would see Penticton pictures and videos, and they have like this sold out barn. Like it looks like a D1 facility, like the weight room, everything.
Well, the thing was, like, in Buffalo, we had a really good team. We were all young, but we had at the end of the season. I mean, we had some great guys on our team that ended up playing Division I hockey, and their guys are going to play pro. But when that season ended, we had one Division I commitment, and then you go to Nanaimo, and every single team in that league has 7 to 15. So it's just it's just kind of like a
every
different
team,
Right? So there's like the depth in that league is incredible. So that was kind of like the thing. I was like, okay, this is a jump because it's a little bit more well respected from the eyes of the NCAA.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
So it was like, hey, if you can go there and hang around and be good, you're in a good spot to just get a scholarship or a commitment.
Yeah, and just for the if there's any young guys listening out there, is that still the way? Do you know? Like, is BCHL still kind of the?
Yeah, well,
I guess with this OHL thing,
everyone's trying to. That's the $1 million question. Like, everyone's trying to figure that out right now.
And it's only been fresh for like 2 months, I guess. Eh?
Yeah. So I mean, when the rule changed, right? Like, we had a lot of guys I still know that are playing in Nanaimo and stuff. And as soon as it happened, it's like, well, I'm gonna go play in the Western Hockey League. I'm gonna go play. Why not? Like, why would I not go challenge myself at the best level, play against the best guys, and still have that opportunity? So I mean, there's no right or wrong. Everyone has their own path, but it's just
probably take a couple of years till we kind of figure out.
It has to sort itself out to say. You know what I mean? And
as I was asking, I'm like, I think it's a little too early.
Maybe not every guy that even plays in the OHL Western League wants to go to school or this. And that. So everyone has to figure out their own, what's best for them.
Absolutely. So we'll come back in a couple years for episode 2 or round 2, and we'll kind of see if our opinions have changed since we kind of seen the dust settle, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So kind of talking about your NCAA journey a little bit, like how did Robert Morris kind of come on your radar, and like how did they, because obviously you had a bunch of options, like how did they become your number one option?
Yeah, well, pretty funny. I was playing, so I played my 18-year-old year in the BCHL, and then my 19-year-old year was like a real season without COVID, so we were really playing. And I was doing really well. I was splitting the captaincy on the team. We were winning games. Like, that was the season that we ended up going to BCHL finals. We went 12-0 in playoffs, and then ran into Smitty and got
the perennial power. That's the word I wanted. The perennial powerhouse.
Yeah, and we ended up getting swept by them. But I mean, we were in it, and I was playing really well. And I think it was after Christmas, like I said in junior B, I've talked to schools, kicked tires, but nothing ever came of anything. Just like phone calls. Oh, how are you? Blah blah blah. Like,
that's like years before.
So I was kind of like, you're a little antsy, like. personally, I was like, I know I'm doing well in this league. I'm playing well. And then you look at all the line charts across the league, and you're like, well, I think I'm better than this guy. I'm like getting kind of like, oh, like, why am I not, like, what's going on? Like,
what are they not seeing? What else do I need to do that?
Yeah, so I'm like, like, I'm playing awesome. Like, I feel like I'm doing really well. Our team's winning, more importantly, right? Like, I'm on a winning team. Like, and I kind of, nothing was clicking. And then I ended up getting hurt. I, like, went to push a guy, fractured something in my wrist.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, like, I was doing well. Now I missed 20 games.
Right.
I haven't talked to a single school up to that point. And then in the middle of when I was missing games, I got an email from Coach Schooley at Robert Morris. Responded to an email, I got on a phone call, and he said, yeah, program's down, blah, blah. We talked about the program. And then he said, we're going to offer you a commitment in the next week or so. And I was like, in the middle of when I was hurt, I was like, well, I hope he doesn't know I'm hurt. Like, and then, And so then, that was like the first school to ever, put some pen to paper, you want to say, or actually give me something tangible. And that's why I always say, like, you want to go somewhere where you're wanted, right?
Totally.
Like, you don't want to be like, oh, well, Coach Schooley wants me as a player. He's offered me a scholarship. You don't want to be like, oh, well, this school is like, oh, we might have room for you. Like, come in.
Like how you probably initially felt going to Nanaimo.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like,
sure, give us your money.
You can come in. So it's like, why would you want to go to a spot where they're like, yeah, okay, we'll squeeze you in. Like, you're on a crappy deal. Like,
right.
But, Robert Morris, Coach Schooley's like, I want you as a player. One of their first commits in the new phase of the program.
So you almost felt like a priority.
So I was like, let's go. Like, sign me up. Like, let's do it. And then I ended up coming back from injury that year, and we went on that playoff run, and it was awesome. And then I played the following year.
Right.
Nanaimo, and then into school. So, yeah.
So despite having multiple offers, you think that was a big part of it? Like, just the fact that they were first?
Yeah, well, that was my only, like, actual offer.
Yeah.
Like, it was just Robert Morris.
Yeah.
And so everyone else that I've talked to is every single guy in junior does the same. Take a phone call here. How are you doing? Like, what's going on? Nothing matters until they say, hey, we're gonna offer you this. You have a week to decide. So that's what impressed me, or impressed me. That was like, Coach Schooley put something out there, and he was like, I want you. Like, I see the value in you. So I'm like, you gotta go where you're wanted, man. Like, you gotta like go there, and it was a great decision.
Yeah, totally. Because I remember during that time, I was talking to you like, yeah, this school called, that school called, but like you said, nothing tangible.
Yeah, and that was frustrating because I'm like, I feel like I'm playing well, right? And then nothing was coming of it. So
and you're calling me, so why is there not like what? Like, why is that? Like, why are we not getting to that last step, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's awesome. So, having said that, what do you think was the biggest adjustment going from, say, Nanaimo to like playing D1 hockey? Like, what do you think was the biggest adjustment or difference?
Yeah, guys ask that sometimes, like younger guys, but like I said, the difference from like minor hockey to juniors was way bigger than juniors pro, just like, high school football to...
That's what those guys all say. Like, I've asked all our pro football guys, like, what's the jump like? And they're like, you're playing better guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's money on the line now, but they're like, the jump from high school to college is 10 times harder than college to university, or college to pros.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you're used to the systems, used to watching film, used to the expectations, used to the coaching style, used to the sophistication of the game, right?
Yeah.
So kind of similar?
Yeah, well, definitely, like, all those things are the same, but I think that one of the bigger things was obviously you're playing against, you go from being 20 years old, you're the oldest guy in the league, and then you can play against guys, especially in our conference, could be guys that are 26, 25, especially with, our COVID years and our redshirt years and all that. So that was a big thing, just adjusting to, the speed and the, just the heaviness of, like, the corners and stuff like that.
Did you ever have that, like, welcome to the...
Yeah, I remember, like, even in the summer, like, our captain that year, my freshman year, Riley St. Ange, I was skating with him, and he would have been a fifth-year player at that time, so he would have been, like, 25, and he would come out and skate with me in the summer, and we were doing, like, a puck protection drill, and I was, like, protecting the puck, coming back, and he was, like, leaning on me, like, trying to get it, and I remember, like, thinking to myself, like, oh, shit, like, this is, like, an adult leaning on me trying to get this puck. I was going from being the oldest guy in the league, not the biggest, but, like, the oldest.
Well, dude, you're not heavy, but you're strong.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt you're fucking strong. So.
Yeah, but this guy was like leaning on me, and I was like, okay, like this is what it feels like. Like, this is like a man. I remember like going to camp, and it's just those first like 3 or 4 skates when you're actually battling, and then it just goes away. Then it's just hockey.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Right, but I remember like being in a drill or whatever. It was like just a corner battle drill with 4 guys, and there was like 3 of the biggest guys in our team. Like, we had like Kate Townend, who was huge, and just going in a corner, and those guys, like, they were adults, right? Like, they're 25, totally. And I was, like, kind of finding my way. But then, like I said, it just wears off, right? Like, you just, now you're just playing.
I remember having the same exact experience a couple times. I think losing a one-on-one and thinking, like, I don't really think you're better than me. I just think you're just older.
Well, like, it comes to the same thing I just said. Like, it gets to the point where, like, okay, stop. Like, fuck them.
Yeah, it's so
like,
true.
Let's
It's so
go.
true.
You know what I mean? Like, okay,
It's so
like,
true.
and then you just start playing your game, and you're good.
It's 100% so true. So, how did you then make that jump from, I don't say just being on the team to then all of a sudden next thing you know you're a co-captain? Like, what was that kind of process like? How did you know? Like, how did they first tell you? Like, I'm so curious about that as well.
Yeah, well, freshman year was cool, especially committing to RMU. The opportunity was like one of the reasons that really intrigued me was that it was a blank slate, right? Usually, most schools, you know, okay, so I'm a defenseman, I commit. Well, there's 2 other freshman defensemen coming with me. There's sophomores, they're juniors, and they're seniors. So you're slotted in right at the bottom of the pecking order to begin with. You know, let's just say, for example. So now you have to beat out all these guys who have been there for 3-4 years to get your power play time, get your ice time. You better be damn good, right? Yeah. So coming into RMU, it was like everyone's new.
So it was a revived program, right?
Yeah, like let's see who can play. Like there was no roster before. They were bringing in everybody, so kind of everyone was on an even playing field. There was no real bias because the coach hasn't coached any of them before. You know what I mean? So if you come in and ball out, well, you're going to be a guy. If you come in and suck, well, sorry.
That's going to be hard to fix because first impression is the most important
Huge.
one. Yeah.
So I remember like clear as day, and when I think back, I wonder if coach said this to everybody just to kind of get everyone going. But we have like our individual meetings, right? And I remember him saying like, you know, we expect more from you, or whatever, blah blah blah. Like,
and you thought he just said it to you.
But yeah, I'm like, when we think back, I'm like, I wonder if he said to everyone. He was like, yeah, like I don't know when you're going to get your opportunity, whether it's first game, second game, 10th game, but like when you get it, don't ever give it back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So like right then it fired me up, right? I'm like, thinking that's like personalized message. And then I was in that first night, played well. In the second night, played well. And then it just like I was in every single night, keep playing, getting better. There was ups and downs, like obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But it was like, hey, when you have your opportunity, don't let that guy that's not in catch you in practice. So we'll catch you like lacking sleep in. Like, so that was kind of the thing. And then it just progressed. You know, we weren't very good that year.
Any revive, it's hard.
Yeah, it was tough, but with that comes a lot of ice time, a lot of room to develop, a lot of room to try things, you know, get better as a player, play in those big games. Like you said, you probably wouldn't get a lot of opportunity playing at another program. Yeah. When, you know, not a lot of freshmen play like 39 games. So that was like that was like an awesome year for development, and then transitioning into, you know, captaincy was a pretty unique situation too.
How did you know her? When did you know her? How did tell you?
Me and Cam Garvey were told, like, in our exit meetings, you know, they kind of given us a little bit of responsibility among the freshmen, like, throughout the year, organize this, blah, 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 and then...
Bit of a litmus test, you probably didn't realize.
Yeah, and they were kind of, okay, figure this out for us, and then we just had our exit meetings, whatever, and, you know, they release some guys, they, you know, give some guys some things to work on, whatever the case is, and they just kind of let us know, like, you guys are going to be splitting captaincy next year, like, this is what we expect, blah, 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 and we were like, wow, it's awesome, but, you know, it's just... At the end of the day, it's just something on your jersey, right? We didn't really change the way we operate. We were kind of already doing those things before we were told. So that kind of just, it was, you know, a real honor to be looked at in that light, especially from the coaching staff as a young guy. Where, you know, 39 games ago, I was nothing. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, so we came a long way as people and as players.
Yeah, because the reality is, whether you had that C on your jersey or not, you still act the same way.
We were still doing the same stuff.
Yeah,
right?
and even if they said it was just going to be the other guy, like, you still would act that way, right? The way you've been acting, however you acted to earn that designation. Yeah. Like, nothing would change. Yeah. What kind of leader do you think, I would say, what kind of leader do you think you are? Like, what kind of leadership style? Or, like, at least what kind of leadership style would you look to emulate?
Yeah, I mean, well, my favorite player always has been Crosby, right? Yeah. And I think he's the ultimate, like, player and leader and, like, more importantly, like, person, right? Like, you never hear one bad thing about, like, you can't even find a bad story about him if you try. So that kind of, like, being my, like, I'll say, like, my idol or whatever growing up, and we're in Pittsburgh, right? So it's kind of like the whole city's idol, I guess. Yeah. And, you know, leadership style, like, you can talk about it a lot, but I think for me, it's just, like, I'm not trying to go out of my way. I'm not this, like, rah-rah guy. Like, during a game, I think as a defenseman, too, like, you don't want to get too amped up, right? Like, there's guys who love the smelling salts, like, love, like, their eyes poking out of their head, but as a D, right, my game's kind of, like, flatline. Like, you don't want to get too high, too low. Like, your emotions got to be, like, in check. So I'm not, like...
That's the biggest thing from football that we always used to...
like, as a quarterback, right?
Talking about all different sports, kind of assisting in, like, your play of hockey. Yeah. I remember that was always the thing. You throw a pick six, doesn't matter, next play. You throw a touchdown, doesn't matter, next play. Yeah. Never get too high, never get too low.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I'm not going to, like... There's obviously moments for everything. You got to, like...
You score, you got to turn up a little bit.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And if we're sucking or whatever, and like it means a lot more coming from a guy who doesn't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas you come in every day and you're motherfucking guys and you're yelling, it's like whatever. But
it falls on deaf ears because it's like, oh, Mike's swearing again.
Yeah, but if it's like, okay, he's never really said anything, this must mean something. Where I'm more, I think, just like you call it leading by example or whatever. I just kind of do my thing, and I think that one of the things I really like is like how you do one thing is how you do everything. Yeah. So that's kind of like another one of those things I always think about. It's like, okay, like I'm gonna pick up these pucks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Do you leave your weights out in here? No, you don't.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
so it's kind of just taking care of all the things. I think it builds up to like a lot of big things, and then it's just at the same time, I really like just like pulling everybody together, like giving like let's say like the little guys a voice or something. You know what I mean?
Course,
like there's always guys that, you know, I think I have a pretty good read on like dressing rooms and like where guys are fitting in and like who needs help and what on the ice, off the ice, the classroom. So I think just like being a voice for everybody is kind of like one of my strengths. Yeah,
it's because you're really as far as team sports goes, like. You really are only as strong as your weakest link, right? And like I found too, like once you get to that level, you know, like your whole life you'll hear it. But if you're on like a high school team, like maybe there's those kids that maybe don't play as much, like they have a hard time really seeing and believing that they actually have a role in the team. Although they really do, they have kind of a harder time seeing it. But I found like when I got to Laurier, like that skill team is so important. Like you know, on a university football team here, states doesn't matter. There's like 100 guys.
Yeah. And
people I've spoken to are like, that's crazy, that's overkill. And I'm like, no, like you really do need it because you have your starting offense, your starting defense, your scout offense, your scout defense. Like already right there, that's say 48 guys. Then even then from there, you need a couple strings. And you need to be able to run an efficient practice. And if we're playing Western this week, like we need our scout defense to look like Western's going to look. And if we're playing, you know, so on and so forth. And I remember being the first couple of years, well, I wasn't even playing yet, but being on the sideline during games and like our D-line would come off the field and be like, oh my God, you guys are way better than Carleton, you guys are way better than whoever. Like, you guys got us prepared so much better.
Yeah, you need it.
Yeah, like practice was hard. Now this game is easy. Now we went on and got 6 sacks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So like that's the first level where I finally started to believe like, okay, I'm in first year, second year, I'm not really playing yet, but I do have a role. So like it's kind of cool for you to see that too in the hockey world. Like you feel like you can empower those guys to feel like, yeah, you really do have a role in this team, even if you're not the guy that's playing right now 30 minutes a night or whatever. You still do have a role of not only making yourself better, but that will make everybody else better as well, right?
Yeah, well, that's something that we really value. Like. With our club, like, is making sure that we're the tightest team possible. I think we still have a lot of room to grow. And with
it's a never-ending pursuit, yeah.
Yeah, so that's like something that, you know, me and the other captains have kind of been talking about all summer. Is like, okay, how can we get tighter? Because everyone loves talking in hockey now about the Florida Panthers, like how they're the tightest team in hockey and they're dominating, right? But it's always it's easy when you're winning. Right?
Yeah.
It's easy to love everybody when you're winning, but we've had some challenging seasons where it's like, okay, we lose, right?
Yeah.
Like we got to get this thing on track. But like Florida,
how do we
like,
just be the tightest? Like
yeah. So it's like that's something that we want to work on, and our culture has been one of our strengths at school. But now we need to turn that culture into on the ice product,
of course,
right? But you see Florida, like the stuff that they talk about that comes out. It's like when they're on the road, their reservations for dinner are for 20.
Yeah.
You know, it's not for 5, it's not for 6.
5 here, 5 there.
It's everyone's coming, or you know, you see they're going to Dairy Queen, they're doing this, like all that stupid stuff. I think that really does add
People
up.
laugh at it, but if you've never been in sports, but like if you've been in sports, you know how.
Yeah. So that's like kind of like the camaraderie that you need. And then when you get into a game, you're like, okay, like I love this guy, like let's go. Like it's just kind of like I think it really does snowball throughout the year.
So true.
Yeah.
So true, absolutely. So as far as kind of like training and development goes, obviously we've been working together for like 6 years now, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
How do you think your training has kind of like evolved in that time? Especially because you've been with me, but then you'll go away to Buffalo, then you go away to Nanaimo, now you're at school. Like, how do you think your training has evolved? Like,
I think at first, the first thing that I ever saw, like when I was, playing like AAA and Junior B, like one of my strengths was like staying consistent like throughout the season, right? Yeah. So it wasn't like it's easy to have a good first half. Then it's like, okay, the dog days of like January, February, like it's snowing out. It's like, you're like, man, like, do I really want to go practice? I feel like the training, the work that I was putting in allowed me to kind of have that longevity throughout the season where I still had some hay in the barn. Like I had a little gas to get me to the playoffs. That training that we were doing, like even though I was coming in once a week here, it kind of gave me that little bit of fuel to, where you see some guys kind of fall off at the end of the season. They don't
I'll pick it up in May. I'll get, next year.
They don't have enough, gas to keep that thing going. So I think that was like the first indicator where I was like, okay, like this works. Like I still feel good. Like all the work in the summer, kind of like you spend it all throughout the year, but you want to be able to do so much in the work that you have enough to get it going. So that was like the first kind of real thing where I was like, okay, like I like this, right? Like this is what I need.
Right. And I think it's, I'm always the guy that's like, I like to think I'm pretty good at what I do.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I will proudly, happily say I'm on a lifelong pursuit of knowledge. I don't know everything.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the same thing when I coach like football. I tell these young kids like I don't know everything about offensive line either.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think I know a lot. I don't know everything. So if you've ever been coached by someone else who taught you something different, I'm not saying they're wrong, I'm right, I'm wrong, they're right.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's all just tools in your toolbox.
Yeah.
So maybe you learn a little bit about lifting from here. Maybe go somewhere else. You learn a little bit about the recovery side, or just a little bit of different technique that maybe I didn't give you, but it kind of helps elevate your game. Like I never want to be the coach that's like, I'm the best, I know everything. Like, don't you dare ever go somewhere else. Like Jayla was here this morning.
Yeah.
Clarkson has like a pretty incredible history of winning.
Definitely.
Their strength coach has been there forever. I'm picking her brain. I'm looking at her program, saying like, what do I do that he does? What do I not do? Like, obviously I can only read it off of paper. I don't have him here to talk to him, but I get so much excitement from looking at that and seeing the commonalities, but also seeing, maybe he organizes the training this way or that way, and like maybe trying to get inside his mind without talking to him, but seeing why he does that.
Mm-hmm.
The same way you probably get that kind of approach like with hockey, watching film on guys that are not on your team and saying, like I kind of like how he plays D versus how I play D.
Yeah, taking things and stuff.
Yeah, it's all just tools in the toolbox, right?
Yeah.
I go coach a football camp or a team. I can teach a kid something, then they go somewhere else, get coached by like a guy who's playing in the pros. Like, of course, he knows something I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
And it can all kind of help guys build up their toolbox, right? So I feel like with the training aspect, it could kind of be the same thing, right? The biggest thing I find is like, for young players listening, again, I kind of have an answer in my head, but I want to see where you go with it. Like, what do you think is the difference between someone that says they want to reach the next level and someone that actually gets there? This is my big thing lately. I say everybody wants. I want to go D1. I wanted this. I wanted that. But if you're not really willing to put in the work required to get there, in my mind, it's not a want. It's a wish, right? So, like, what do you think kind of separates those who actually get there and those that just want to?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like my answer is like really simple, but it's like not easy, right? Like it's just like, there's like you play with a lot of guys who are good enough but don't kind of maximize their potential. And I think one of the things I heard from a coach a long time ago that really stuck with me is you have to take ownership of your development. Yeah. Right? Like
no one's coming to save you.
Like that was like something I heard a long time ago, and I always kind of like stuck with me. Like this drill, like we're doing this drill, but if you half-ass it and you just like go around and shoot and you go home,
I went and skated today.
Yeah, I skated today. Like, but it's like, hey, like, are we with a purpose? Right? Are we doing things with a purpose? Like, is this actually contributing to helping me? Like, am I getting that like 1% better or whatever you want to say? Like, so like when I think about that, it's like, okay, like take ownership of my development. Like my dad's not getting me better. Right. Like you're not getting me better. If I come in here and I'm moping around lazy, like I'm just wasting my own time. Right. Yeah. So my kind of thing is like everything that I do is like I want to do it with intent, and I think that kind of snowballs into your success on the ice. Right. It's kind of the same thing. You do everything. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Right. Like that kind of like those lessons kind of add up, and I think that kind of makes the difference between a good player and a great player is someone who's like got attainable goals. You're not just out there getting shit done, just like whatever.
Yeah, and I think it was Coach Prime. He might have said, "I know you love him." Yeah. So do I. I think he might have been the one that said like, "Don't count the minutes, like make the minutes count."
Yeah.
Or even if that wasn't his original quote, I think he used it. I think it might have been Muhammad Ali, but I think he used it with his guys. The one video I was watching, he was like, He's like, the problem now is. He's like, we used to practice, or I used to practice, talking about himself, I used to practice like to get better. Yeah. He's like, now guys just practice to practice, and they watch the clock, and they can't wait till, okay, this period's over, now get a water, get the next period, like, just to say I practiced. Yeah. He was like, I actually practiced so I could actually work on my skills and make sure they get better, and when the clock ran out, I was pissed. Yeah. Because I was like, that's my time to get better is up now, like, and that's dictated by, like, the team schedule, right? So I think that's kind of the biggest thing is, again, don't count the minutes, right? Just make the minutes count type thing. Because a lot of guys will just sit around, you know how it is. Yeah. Well, I went up for a skate. I went to my power skating lesson. I went to my, we're doing drills with so-and-so. And it's like, yeah, but did you get everything out of that you could? Yeah. And it's not even always balls to the wall physically, but mentally. Were you paying attention? Yeah. When that coach is talking, explaining different techniques or stuff like that? It's the biggest thing in film, too.
Yeah, just sitting there.
You go to a film session. Did you bring a fucking pen and paper? Yeah. Or are you just sitting there with your feet up and chewing on some gum and checking your phone every couple minutes? Oh, coach is not going to see me. I got to check my text or my Snapchat or something. Or are you actually locked in, taking good notes, asking good questions, maybe getting up on the whiteboard, drawing up hypotheticals, right? Like, that's going to be the difference. It's no one silver bullet. It's no one thing that's going to make you better, but it's a combination of all those things. It's a summation of all those things. That's kind of the synergy of it, right?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me, too, that I was just thinking of, like, and lately I've been thinking about it a lot, is, like, the difference between, a guy who wants it or doesn't want it. Like, for me, like, it's like how competitive you are, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes the way I think about it is like, even if I don't want to come here and train or whatever, like I want to be so much better than that next guy that I'm like
it doesn't matter if you want to train.
Like fuck him. Like I want to be better than him. And even if
Yeah.
it's like, sometimes it's like, even if it's guys on your own team, you're like, well, we're both coming into camp. Like who skated more?
Yeah.
Did I train more than him? Did I skate more? Did I shoot more pucks than him? So it's like
and some people think, because you mentioned someone on your own team, some people think that's toxic. Hell no, it's not toxic.
Yeah.
That's fucking, in the end, that's positive.
Well, then we're all getting good.
Exactly.
And our team's going to win more games. So it's like, I think about like, the more you go up in the levels of hockey, there's only so many spots.
Yeah.
Well, like think about an NHL team, there's 6D, 7D, and there's 30 teams. So whatever that is. And like,
that's like just over 200 something.
And then you go.
It's not 10,000.
You got the AHL. So like, there's only so many actual spots. So it's like, even if it's not a guy in my own league, it's like a guy younger than me. Am I doing more than him? There's a guy older than me. Like, am I catching him? Am I closing the gap? So it's like, that's just the way I think. Is like, I sometimes you get like not nervous, but at night I'm like, oh fuck, like did I do enough today? Like and like that's just kind of a weird way to think about it. But like sometimes you go to bed, you're like, fuck, like is someone like doing more kind of thing, and that kind of fires me out. That's
a good spot to be in. That's that quote from his name's like Lou Caralla. He won strength coach. I can't remember what school he's at now. He's been like, you know how that goes, he's been all over the place. But he has that quote, and he's like, lazy people do a little bit of work and think they should be winning. And like hardworking people do a ton of work and still always feel like they haven't done enough. Yeah. So if you're laying in bed at night having that ounce of guilt, thinking like, did I do enough? You can just rest assured like you're probably in a good spot.
Yeah, like, it sounds super corny. It sounds like you're like
a hard
but it's like,
it doesn't though.
Sometimes I'm like, oh shit, like was that like, damn, like did I leave something on tape? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, that's kind of just like, then you wake up and you're okay, now I'm going, and it's kind of just like reset to you every day. It
sounds super corny to someone that doesn't get it. Right? That's like that other quote too. I'm full of quotes today, but it's like, obsessed is what the lazy call the dedicated. You know what I'm saying? Someone else is so hardworking in what they do that it makes me uncomfortable if I'm a lazy guy. Then I'm like, oh, he's obsessed. Oh, he's just, you know what I mean? Yeah. But like you said, like guys who like you know, in slang wise, oh, he's a hardo. Yeah. I'd be like, yeah, I am. Thanks. Is that a compliment? You're saying it like it's a diss. I'd be like, yeah, I am. Like, why the fuck aren't you though? Yeah. Right. You're gonna sit here and tell me you want it. Again, you don't want it. You're just wishing. Yeah. Right. That's always my main thing. So, I like how like a lot. I'm kind of teeing you up on a lot of these questions, but you're kind of giving the answer I would hope or I would think.
But at the same time, like there's. It might not work for everybody, right? There's like unbelievable players who like I can't skate in the summer. Like I can't. Like I that doesn't work for me. Like I'm gonna hate it by December. I need to take 2 months off and I'm gonna train. I'm gonna work out. So it's kind of, you have to find like what makes you tick. Like if you need to go on the boat, you need to like just work out, get some sun. Like that's your thing. But my thing is like I want to skate every day. Like if I don't do that, I won't feel good. Right. You know what I mean? You kind of have to find like what works for you, whether that's that or that. As long as your results on the ice are good, like who cares how you get there, right? Yeah, so like just figure out what works for you.
Yeah, the only thing, I agree 100%. The only thing about that is like it takes years to figure that out though. So now you got high school kids saying, "Oh, I need to get something." 100%.
Like,
you're right though.
If you're Kucherov and you don't want to skate, go ahead. Like McDavid, if he wants to take whatever. But like on the way up the hill, high school kids
saying, "Well, so and so this, so and so that." I'm definitely. Like, but you know how they figured that out from years of
definitely
smacking their head against the wall and then figuring out, okay, maybe I gotta adjust my approach, right?
You gotta earn that a little bit, I think.
Yeah, so high school kids out there, don't be getting twisted. Don't be hitting the cottage every weekend in the summer, fucking, you know, doing whatever you shouldn't be doing. So what's one part of like a preparation, maybe physical, mental, tactical, whatever, that you think a lot of guys overlook?
Yeah, I think first thing that came to my mind is like visualization. Yeah. I think that's like something I think about before a game. Is like, it's pretty funny. Like it's weird how it works. But if you like think about a lot of good stuff, like good stuff happens.
Dude, it's like proven. I shouldn't say proven, but it's suggested in science. Yeah.
It's weird, but if I'm before a game, and it's happened before, if I'm like for some reason if I'm nervous before a game, you're gonna play nervous, right? Like if you're like, oh, I'm gonna fuck up a pass. Yeah. You're gonna fuck up. But if I'm just like, I like to go sit and look at the ice and just like look at all the zones and just like think about like good stuff in every zone. And then you kind of just like you set yourself up in a positive mind. Then you're happy, you're laughing, you're light.
I believe that. 100%.
That's kind of the way like how I get in the kind of like the zone or whatever, like a routine. Just like staying positive and like thinking about positive stuff. That kind of gets me. I think sometimes people just go and play, but I think there's so much like more that you can get out of it if you're like dialed in mentally.
Even in here, imagine looking at a bar on the floor and you're about to clean it and you just picture yourself missing it. Like you're not going to hit it, right? You picture yourself hitting it, you might not hit it, but at least you have a better chance. If you picture yourself missing that lift, it's going to happen.
Yeah. There was something else I liked. It was like if you think if you think it's going to go good or you think it's going to go bad,
you're right.
Yeah, something like that. I was like, okay, well, you may as well just think it's going to go good, right?
Exactly. It's so true. If you think you can, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And you can apply it or adjust it however you want.
Yeah.
And that was always my thing why I was so adamant, I'll say, about film. Because even when we train like the college teams or stuff like that, like some days they're like, oh, I can't train, I'm too tired, I'm too sore. I'm like, well, you can train though. You can train your mind. Get in the film room, right, and watch it whether it's by yourself or with your teammates, and understand that when you're watching film, it's not just a self-highlight tape.
Yeah.
Watch it, like, I probably spend too much time looking at my bad plays. Like, watch your good stuff so that you can reproduce it, but also watch your bad stuff. Also watch other people who play your position better than you do and try to emulate that. Also watch your film and think, okay, like, in my case, the guy over at Guelph's watching my film today, like, what am I giving up? What am I showing him that if I was him, how would I beat me?
Yeah.
Right? Not only...
Yeah, you got to dissect it a bit.
Exactly. And you got to kind of play the hypotheticals there, too. So it's like, when you think you can get better, the film and, like you're saying, same thing, the visualization, like, that's the one way you can get better. You can generally get better without actually having to physically exert yourself, right? So if I had to answer that question, that would be my biggest thing. Like, what's one part of training or preparation that most guys overlook? Guys have team lifts. Guys have practice. Like, hopefully they're squeezing every ounce out of that they can. Like we mentioned, some guys are just, tiptoeing their way through it. But nonetheless, at least it's happening. Not enough guys are watching film on their own or doing that visualization on their own. So I think that's, like, super powerful. So every career obviously has its bumps and bruises. What do you think was, like, the toughest kind of setback in your career, and, like, how'd you kind of get through it?
Yeah, it was definitely that injury that I kind of talked about before. Yeah, like I've never gotten hurt before, ever, and so that was kind of like a shock to my system. Like I never missed more than like one game for being sick or whatever it was, and that was like a real injury. And you
said it was like 20 games, right?
Yeah, I've never had to deal with anything like that before, but I kind of just relied, like I said, on the stuff that I knew worked. So I think I texted you like right away, and we were right into a program that I was doing on my own at our team gym. Like, okay, now I'm not exerting myself on the ice, but let's get into like an off-season lift. Yeah. And to make sure that I'm right, like when I get back.
You're doing safety bar stuff. I remember all that.
Yeah. You wrote me off something. I was across the country, but boom, I was doing it, and it sucked. Yeah. But I had the full cast on. Like we were squatting. I was sending you videos, blah blah, and it was hard. But that was kind of like.
How much worse would it suck if I was doing nothing?
Yeah. So, and I remember I was being kind of crazy. I would skate, and I got a glove that was like 3 times too big on the cast hand, so I'd go out there, and so I was protected. Yeah. And I would just do all the drills, but like with one hand. And then I was like, it was my left hand, right? So I was stick handling a ton with one hand, thinking that when I get back, like.
That probably helped you in a way.
Oh, if your top hand is strong, it's strong. Like Crosby's forearm is probably like 5 times the size of mine. You can shoot pucks with one hand, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, well, let's just get this left hand as strong as I can, and it'll help me. And I think it probably did. I was doing tons of stuff like that, staying involved with the team.
That's a funny part. You say, oh, it was kind of crazy, but it's not crazy though.
Yeah.
It's just finding a way. If you're looking for an excuse, you can always find one. Mm-hmm. So it's finding a way. Like you text me, how can I lift? Yeah. My wrist is broken or fractured, whatever, or Yeah. But the rest of my body's fine. Yeah. So we get people that's like, oh, I sprained my finger. I got to take the week off practice. I can't lift. Yeah. It's like, no, you can. Yeah. You can actually do a million things still. You just maybe can't, whatever. But yeah. So always finding a way. I think that's probably one of the reasons why you're in the position that you're in, right?
Yeah, and I remember being hurt, and like I hated watching the games. But when you watch from the stands, I think you get like another level of appreciation. I remember like kind of watching warm-ups and taking a step back and being like, wow, these guys are kind of moving fast, shooting hard. Like, I was out there. Yeah. For like 15 games go by, you haven't been there in a while. You're like, wow, it's kind of moving quick here. Like, this looks like a legit hockey game. Like, oh, like this is like awesome. Like, I can't believe I was out there. Like, it sounds silly.
And now you're at even a higher league level than that.
Yeah, so it's just like, kind of get a level of appreciation where you're like, wow, okay, like, this is awesome. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, when things maybe aren't going your way, like, say it's ice time, say it's, injuries or like just results of like, maybe your guys' team's on a losing streak or whatever, you just feel like you're not playing well, like how do you kind of push through it? How do you maybe approach it?
Yeah, I think like I like to go about it like really simple. Like let's say like I mess something up in a game or we're losing or whatever. I just like to do, if you just do like a little bit more of like whatever that is, like if it's losing a game, like whatever the symptoms are of that, like I missed a pass or I got shot blocked. Yeah. If you just after practice, like it doesn't even have to be like an hour. Like you do 5 minutes. Like I would just go do this one thing for 5 minutes, and even if it did nothing for you physically, it's all in my brain. I'm like, okay, I fixed that.
So true. Boom, or at least I tried to.
Yeah, it's like you just patch that hole in your brain, and you're like, okay, like let's move on. Like if you just like emphasize a little bit extra on one thing, and then I feel like that's like my way of like paying my debt sort of thing. It's like,
Totally.
okay, like now I'm squared up, like let's move on. So
Totally.
it's just like a little extra work. I kind of like pay your rent a little bit, and then you're ready to go.
Lannister always pays their debts, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
So, keeping in mind that the game has obviously changed now, but nonetheless, if you could go back and give a 16-year-old you any advice, what do you think it would be?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Not even with the OHL, whatever stuff, like, because that's obviously so different now.
Yeah,
so, like,
I
that
think,
aside.
and I was like looking at someone like talking about this yesterday, like another thing, like we're full of quotes today, but another thing that I really like is just like,
I love the quotes.
it's just like live where your feet are, right? Like
Yeah.
I think sometimes you can get really caught up in like when I'm playing junior B, like, oh, I want to play junior A. Like,
And then you're in junior A and you want to play this.
and you want to play it, but then you look back like, oh, I just like it's over. Like my junior B season with all these guys, we're never going to be in the room together, all these 20 guys ever again. Every single year the team ends, you're never going to be with those same guys at the party, at, whatever. So it's like...
You got to stop and smell the roses.
So I'm like, I would just say, and I think I did a pretty good job of that growing up, but I would just be like, make sure you're having fun, man. Like, you're like, these guys, like, hockey teams, everyone loves each other, right? Like, it's a super tight-knit sport, and I think you don't want to get caught up in, okay, I want more, which is great, because then it keeps pushing you, but at the same time,
that can't be 100% of your...
Because as soon as you start thinking about the next thing, you start messing up the current thing. And it's like you got to take care of this right now, be present, enjoy it. And I think that's all you can do. That's how you give your best, right? If you're already looking into the future, and that's when you start slipping up. Absolutely.
So what's one thing you wish every young player knew about the path to the NCAA?
That's hard. I thought it was going to be a lot easier in my head. Well, not easier, but I was like, it was hard. Like I said, I went on like 3 recruiting visits when I was 16 playing junior B. So in my head, if I'm doing the math,
I got 3 now. I'm gonna have fucking 30 soon.
I'm sitting back doing the math. I'm like, okay, like a couple of really good schools. I'm 16. I'm playing junior B. What happens when I go have a good year at junior A? Like,
maybe I am him.
I'm be swimming in these offers, and then and I go play junior A. Oh, nothing. Okay, I'll go play another year. Nothing. Okay, and then I was like, oh crap, like maybe this isn't like that easy.
Right.
And even when you get there, the games are hard, man. I was just saying to my dad the other day, he's like, you excited to get back and get playing? I'm like, 100%. Like, get back, meet the new guys, get practicing. But I'm like, those games are hard. Like, so like, let's not.
The tank,
I'm like, let's enjoy the summer here, and like when the games come, we'll be ready. But it's like after those games, like your legs are cramping, like you're on the penalty kill, you're blocking hard shots, like you're playing big minutes. It's like
you're fucking hammering guys in the corner.
And then the game's over, you go, you eat your food, you roll out, and then you do it again the next day, and it's like. And it's the same thing. It's just run it back. Like the same team, they hate you, we hate them, and it's like it's just like.
Especially if you're like on a road trip and it's 2 days in a row.
It's just a war. So
go
it's
to Alaska, where the fuck you guys?
Yeah. So it's like, and those are like the best moments, right? That's why you train. It's just to play games, but it's it's not just.
It's easy.
It's not just like we show up, you get a couple points, get your cookies, and you're like, oh, like let's get out of here. It's like no, these games, it's like they're damn hard. Coaches are intense. Like
well, and you're on a scholarship, whatever. It's a job for you. It's a job.
Practices are intense.
For the coaches, that's how they're making.
They're getting paid $100,000 to coach us. Like.
Not to be your buddy.
Like if you fuck up, like that's their job.
Yeah.
Like the AD's not looking at you, he's looking at him. Like why are we losing?
No.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's intense. So I would just say like everyone wants to play. You want to play SEC football?
Yeah.
Do you?
Do you though?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like
do you like the idea? Do you want or do you wish?
Yeah.
Do you like the idea of it or do you really want to freaking lock in and do it?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's just it's hard. You gotta love it. That's the thing. Like you can't just half-ass it. Like you have to really love it, or you're gonna fall behind. Like you're gonna crush.
Yeah. I love how you're saying that because even last week I was talking to all the guys going away. We had 5 guys this year alone going away to their first OUA football training camp.
Yeah.
And I, kind of facetiously, but I'm like, you're going to find out real quick if you like football or you love football.
Yeah.
You're going to find out real fucking quick, right? These guys, I'm texting them, like, I'm getting all good feedback, but a couple, they're like, wow, these days are really long, eh? And I'm like,
does it get easier?
Did I not tell you? And they're like, you did, but until you live it,
yeah.
You can look at a piece of paper and say, oh, I have a 14-hour day every day for 3 weeks in training camp, and wow, that's going to be pretty involved. And then you live it, and you're like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
And I hate to be that old head who back in my day, but we used to do 2-a-days.
Yeah.
They don't even do 2-days anymore. So like, I'm like, guys, you think this shit's hard? Like, just imagine.
Yeah.
I spoke to guys who I trained who played before me who did like 3-a-day practices. Right? I can't even imagine.
No.
Right? 2-a-days was just fucking unbelievable. So, yes, there's a million good things that come with it. Yes, it's 100%. Something you've earned. You should be proud of.
Yeah.
But don't get it twisted. It's anything but easy.
Yeah. Oh, easy's not the word. I mean, we always joke like you play a game like hard weekend, whatever you sweep, split, whatever. You blink, it's Friday.
Yeah. What's the most games you play in a week? 3 typically?
2. Friday, Saturday, and then if it's a strange week, there'll be like a Monday or Tuesday. That's like a couple times a year. But
so you can say like
so
3
Friday
in less than 7 days.
Yeah. Friday, Saturday is like super typical.
Yeah.
But then like Sunday it's like off.
Yeah.
Recover. And then Monday through Thursday, it's class practice, boom, 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 boom. You blink, oh, we're on the blue line again, national anthem, like, we're doing it again. It's like, so that's just like, next thing you know, you're 8 weeks into the season and you don't even remember anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my God, it's almost Christmas.
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes. Now all of a sudden I'm a junior. And I was a
Yeah.
freshman 3 weeks ago in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nuts.
So just real quick, because I just realized we haven't really touched it yet, and I really want to. Like,
Yeah.
how do you best juggle or balance hockey and school?
Mm-hmm.
Because like you guys are on the road so much, travel. Like I said, you guys flew to Alaska, you flew to all these places. Like, and you still gotta go to school.
Yeah,
You still gotta maintain your GPA. This
Yeah.
is not professional where you can just play hockey. You gotta do your fucking homework. So like, how do you personally find that you balance all that stuff?
Yeah,
Any strategies
I think,
or any?
Yeah, I think sometimes people make it out to be like extremely like difficult, like like super daunting, like you haven't been to school in 3 years, like how are you gonna handle
Yeah, because
it?
when you're a junior, there's no school. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like anything, right? Like you manage your time and you prioritize things, and we lean on each other a ton, right? Because we have a big freshman class and we're all living together, and we're all in kind of the same classes. Oh, you had that before,
Yeah.
like I have it right now. So it's kind of just like we're getting through it like as a group. It's not like you're on your own, right?
Yeah.
And there's guys, older guys. Oh, I did this. Take this teacher. Do this. Like
Yeah.
I'll help you here. So it's kind of like.
A lot of beauty in shared suffering.
Yeah, you're not on your own at all, and yeah, there's days where it sucks where you're like, oh, I'd rather just sit on my phone for an hour, but now I gotta write this paper, I gotta do this,
Yeah.
and it's just about managing your time, and it's at the end of the day, it's just a lot of people have done it, so you
Yeah, that's
can
the thing.
too.
You're not the first.
Yeah, you can too.
And I'm sure you guys probably have like pretty good academic support.
Yeah, there's a lot of
study hall.
resources you can use.
You can use.
Yes.
I think oftentimes that's the difference is that guys
Yeah.
don't take.
Take advantage of it.
That's what I'm trying to say. Guys
Yeah.
don't take advantage, or guys take for granted how many resources they have
Yeah.
until it's too late.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember being using the writing center, using the study hall. Like for us, you had to go to study hall until you had like a certain GPA.
Same. Yeah.
And then you kind of graduated out from needing it, but there would still be times I would kind of pop in just because it's like a good,
Yeah.
like you said, maybe I have teammates in my class, or maybe
Yeah.
it's just a good like. You're not going to sit around the study hall and mess around, but it's easy enough when you're at home to turn the TV on and put on Netflix or something
100%.
stupid, right?
Yeah. Or we like to you make a relationship with your professor.
Yeah.
I'm on the hockey team. Oh, he likes hockey. Okay, perfect. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we're going away. Can we get an extension here? Can we do this?
Yeah.
No problem, no problem. So it's kind of just like, you sit in the front, all that cliche
Yeah.
stuff. Like, it
Matters.
goes a long way, though. It's like, oh, you guys are traveling. Where are you going? Okay, don't worry about this. Like, take care of this, and we're good. Like, so you massage your way through and
Yeah.
take care of the big things, and then get a passing grade.
That's the main goal. That's the main
Yeah.
goal. Get a passing grade. So, still got a couple years left, obviously, of college hockey. But then what's the plan after that? What's the outlook?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like every guy's dream is playing the NHL, right? Like that's
Yeah.
kind of just like if you're playing and you're putting all this effort in, you're training 5 days a week, game
Yeah.
5. Like if
Why would
that's,
you not
that's
have
not
that
your
goal?
goal, like that's kind of
Fuck are you
stupid,
doing?
right? So so obviously like everyone wants to play there, but like we said earlier, like there's 6 spots
Yeah.
on every team. So like whether that's a reachable goal, attainable goal, whatever, it's just about I just want to play at the highest level I can. Because that's kind of like why I do all this. Like sometimes we joke like if I wasn't playing hockey, like there's no way I'd be in here lifestyle training like this, right? Like this.
Yeah. What was it yesterday? Donison yesterday, right?
Yeah.
About to be an MLB pitcher here real soon in
Yeah.
probably the next couple of years. And he's like, man, if I wasn't playing baseball, I would never do legs.
Yeah,
he
no.
goes, I'd probably still do a little chest and bicep, but
That's it, right?
I would never do legs.
So it's like it's kind of like that goal, like that big goal. Whether it's the NHL, it's the AHL, it's
Yeah.
East Coast League, it's whatever. It's just playing like maximizing whatever I'm capable of doing.
Totally.
That's what I want to do. And then at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I want to be able to be like, okay, like I emptied the tank.
Empty the clip, yeah.
I started here, I got to here. That's unbelievable. I'm proud of myself, and then move on from there. That's kind of like where my head's at.
Right. Now, even if you play till you're 40, you got to retire at some point. So then what's kind of the career aspiration after that? What are you studying? Tell the people, what are you studying? What are you kind of thinking like career-wise after that?
Yeah, I'm a business management major, so
Right.
I kind of like the idea of like I said, like being in the locker room. Like I feel like I have a pretty good touch on like managing emotions and like where people are at, and kind of like forgetting the word, but kind of like just like having a good sense of like how people are feeling and like being able to manage like a team, whether it's like an office or like I feel like I have a pretty good sense of like leadership in that kind of setting.
Being a captain everywhere you've been. Right?
Yeah.
It's not by accident.
Yeah,
Right?
so I feel like I took business management because it's like okay, like numbers, like I can do them, sure, whatever, but I want to kind of be on that side, like decision making,
Yeah.
like planning, stuff like that. But we always joke in the room like, oh, I'll go play like in the Slovakian like 5 league until I'm like 45. Like I just
Yeah.
want to play hockey till like the wheels fall off. Whether that's like actually a good thing to do with your life, like I
Yeah.
don't know, but kind of like I haven't really given you any serious time to be like, oh, what's after? I'm kind of just like, let's play, let's get as good as I can,
Yeah.
shoot all these pucks. Like I have like my hockey camp going in the summer.
Yeah.
I like doing that. but I don't really work like a real job or anything. Cause like,
you want to plug the camp real quick, Blue Liners?
Yeah, I got my hockey camp, Blue Liners D.
Yeah.
You know, we're all the young guys are getting a lot better, but like kind of we mentioned earlier, like I would feel bad if I spent 25 hours a week working some job, like whatever, working retail, whatever, making my check. I would feel like, man, I didn't really empty my clip this summer. I spent all this time where I could have been, I'm here for 2.5 hours a day, and then I'm skating. Like, when am I going to work a shift? So it's kind of like, and I owe a lot of credit to my parents, my dad, my mom, like allowing me the opportunity to be, okay, we'll support you financially.
Of course, yeah.
As long as you're working hard, you got good grades, blah, blah, blah. And I got my own thing going, so like, you know, it keeps me afloat. But it's like, that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's like, you say, oh, what do you want to do after? It's like, well, if you got plan B and plan A sucks.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me just keep the main thing, and like, I'll worry about it. You know enough people, we have enough relationships, you're a good enough guy, like, you'll figure it out, right?
Yeah, no, totally. I love that. A question I didn't write down, but I just kind of thought of, like, what lessons have you learned from running the camp? Say, like, entrepreneurial, or just, like, I'm so curious about that now. I'm just sitting here thinking. Yeah,
so we got a hockey camp that goes once a week with 11 to 13-year-olds, and a second hour, 14 to 16.
Yeah, second year doing it?
Second year, yeah. So there's about 21 kids in each group, so there's about 42 kids signed up.
Yeah.
And at first, I was, like, super nervous. Like, my first one 2 years ago, just like anything, I was like...
As you should be, yeah.
And I've gone to thousands of skates.
Yeah.
As a attendee, and now I'm the one blowing the whistle. I bring it in, like, I was like, oh boy, like, but like anything, like I said, you get used to it and you get good at it. But a lesson is just like, from a hockey standpoint, at first I was like, okay, we're gonna do this, like, we're gonna work on this, and I'm like, wait a sec, like, that stuff that I want to work on, we need to skate, we need to stick handle, we need to have our head up, we need to shoot with our head up, we need to work on our shot, and that's it. The stuff that I wanted to do at first, I was like, we're not even, like, no. Like,
you feel the need to prove your worth.
Like, oh, I know this. Okay, we need, like...
You see a lot with our industry, too. People bring people in the first day, and they're throwing bands on everything and chains and doing all these crazy freaking plyos, and it's like, hey, this kid probably can't do a push-up. Yeah. Right? Like, so now you're doing them a disservice. So, like, for you, it's the same thing. You want to do all this crazy edging and...
It's kind of been my message to, like, the parents, like, whatever, in the advertisement or whatever. It's like, nothing that we do is, like, fancy. Same thing here. It's like, it's like, we need to get really good at all the fundamentals. Someone was asking me the other day, like, what's the biggest thing that the kids need to get better at as a whole? I'm like, all we do is transition skating, without a puck, work on improving our shot, and like moving the puck with our head up. Those four. If you get like, I say to the kids all the time, like, Kale McCarr, best fence in the world. Like, what's he the best at? Yeah. He's best on his edges, best skater, best transition player, and he has a great shot. It's like, so why don't we just get really good at that before we start worrying about all the other bullshit? That was the big thing I learned. I came in like, hey, like, super excited about, like,
well, you feel the need. People have paid me money and their time and their trust.
So
I need to provide some crazy product, but the crazy product is fundamentals executed with surgical precision.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So I pulled it back, way back, to simplify everything, and the kids are really benefiting from it. They're getting a lot better, and I kind of joke, like, if I was a kid, I'd probably hate it, because we're just skating, like, this and that, but it's super. I can't stress how important it is. Like, I think I was doing a lot of that stuff when I was little, but that's, builds the foundation for everything else. Everything else is like icing on the cake. Like,
yeah, absolutely. The best guys I played with, we just did the basic fundamental drills, like, for years on end, like, every day. It's like the Bruce Lee, like, I don't know if you're the guy that's practiced 1,000 different kicks once each. Yeah. If you're the guy that's practiced one kick 1,000 times. Yeah. Or whatever the quote is. Like, that's kind of the same kind of thing with the hockey, same thing with baseball pitchers, same thing with football. It doesn't matter what sport you play. The guy that's taking 1,000,000 free throws, he's probably going to be pretty good at free throws. Yeah. Right?
Like, even at school, we have the opportunity to watch the Penguins practice. Yeah. So I'll just pop in, grab a coffee, and watch. Their guys make fun of me, kind of, but I love going and just, like, watching their practice.
Doesn't hurt that your favorite players in there.
Yeah, so one of the best players ever. You go watch them for free, stay on the glass, watch them shoot. So, but you think you're gonna go there and, like, oh, they're doing all this crazy stuff. Yeah. We do the exact same drills. They just do it better. Yeah. They're just, like you said, with surgical precision. The passes they don't fuck up the passes. Like, boom, boom, boom. Their shots are hard. And then you watch guys like Crosby after, and it's like, oh, what's he doing? You think he has some magical, he takes some, like, pill on the bench and it makes him unbelievable. No, he just, like, before practice, every single time he's got his 3 spots or whatever, shot on no goalie, switch sides, shot, one timer. Yeah. Okay, now I'm good. For last 20 years, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, it's nothing that you can't do. It's just he's done it 10 million times. Yeah. And he's the best in the world at it, because there's no secret sauce.
The secret is knowing that there's no secret.
Like, so they just go out there, and, like, I'm watching these drills. I'm like, oh, like, I've done that. I can do that. Like, if you put me in line right there, I could probably do it. Yeah. I could, hang with them right there. But it's like they're just the best in the world at it. So consistent, right? I
remember talking to a friend of the show, Dr. John Berardi, and he was saying, like, the guy from Precision Nutrition, and he was down in, I think, Arizona with some of the best track athletes in the world, watching them train, and he said the same exact thing. They're not doing crazy, like, it just looks so simple, looks so basic, and that's where kind of the beauty of that session was lying, or I think he was maybe there for a week, and he was like, they're doing the basic drills that maybe are, because he coaches locally with the Thornton Elite Track Club, he's like, a lot of the drills are the same. You know, they're not doing any crazy, throwing bands on everything, doing all this crazy stuff, like, it's just like the basics done extremely well over and over and over and over again, right? So you see it in hockey, like there, you see it in track and field. You can watch all these different, you watch Hard Knocks, like same thing, you see them doing all the drills. I'm like, oh shit, I've done those drills, or like similar stuff to that. Like, it's just those basics done over and over and over again at extremely high level, right?
It kind of ties in, like we want to bring everyone to watch the practice, because it's like, we talk about just going through the motions, and it's like, you think a guy like Crosby accomplished everything in the world, he's still going 100% at practice on a Tuesday in December. He's giving her. Yeah. And it's like, well, if he's doing it, like, why? Like, what have I done? It's like, so you still watch him. He's going hard. He's pushing guys. He's competing. He doesn't want to lose anything. Yeah. Like, even if it's after practice, the game of, like, Tupac or something, like, just messing around, he wants to win it. So it's like, it's kind of like inspiring. And it's like, wow, like, you know, you go watch the best player in the world do that. Like, why can't I? Yeah. Why can't I? Why shouldn't I? A couple years ago, we were at a conference, and we watched a guy squat 800 pounds. And you know me, I'm lazy with the warm-ups. If I'm lazy with anything, I don't think I'm a lazy guy, but I'm lazy with the warm-ups. I can admit it. Yeah. And I saw this 800-pound squatter, and you know what he warmed up with? Empty bar. Usually I'm right to the blue plate, right? So I saw him warm up with the empty bar, and I kind of had a reality check of, like, fuck, again, like, if he's not too good to warm up with, like, just the empty bar, who the hell am I? Type thing, right? Yeah. I'll never forget that day. Just a couple quick-fire questions here to finish off. Other than, obviously, your own, favorite rink you played in? It's easily in North Dakota. That was insane. Yeah,
I remember I seen all the YouTube YouTube tours and everything. It's incredible, eh?
Yeah, that was nuts.
Anything specific about it, or just you have to watch on your own time? Anybody?
Yeah, I mean the arena is insane, but I mean my dad was out there and he was like, man, like there's not one detail that they left like that wasn't done to perfection, and I mean just it was like more of like the atmosphere in there. We were pulling in from morning skate, and there was people in tents like waiting to get into the game at 11 in the morning. It's incredible. Game's at 7. And we're getting.
And it was just a regular season game.
It was game like 4 or 5 for them, and we're getting dressed like underneath their student section. Yeah. And it was sounded like there was like elephants like on top of us, like they're going nuts. And we go out there for warm ups, and there was, you know, a full section like an NHL arena of just students waiting to go. And we played really hard in that game.
You guys played them okay, didn't you?
We played them really hard. Like we gave them everything they could handle pretty much. We lost 2-1 and 1-0 the next night, but the 2-1.
That's a good weekend.
The 2-1 game. They scored 2 goals within a minute and a half. So they score, and there's fireworks going off in the rink. The student section is going bananas.
And they score again.
And I'm sitting on the bench, like, looking around, like, you almost want to crawl into, like, a shell, right? You're like, oh, get me out of here. It's 2-0, like, 18 minutes left. Like, if we didn't have, like, the resiliency, like, on our bench, like, any other team, right? Like, 2-0, oh, it's done. North Dakota.
It could have ended up 5-0.
North Dakota could have been 15-0. North Dakota. Oh, if you just sit there and say, "Oh, it's top 20 program."
Here we go.
Look at this rank. Like, all right, like we're done. But we like I give a lot of credit to our group. And I said after the game, like that could have gone a lot of different ways. Yeah. We took the game to overtime, lost 3-2. I mean, overtime is just a game. It's just a skills competition basically. Like whoever gets the first chance, they score on the power play. So I was really proud of our group for that game.
Yeah, that's incredible. Who's the most skilled player you've ever played against?
There's a lot. There's a lot. The first thing, like when sometimes we talk about this, like we're at lunch and stuff. The first guys that come to my mind, like, and I'm the last guy to give anybody any credit, right? Like
Look everyone.
Yeah, I hate that, but like, I mean, our OHL draft class was like the top end was like pretty stacked. Like we had like Quinton Byfield, like he went 2nd overall NHL. Yeah. Like Drysdale, like plays in the NHL, defenseman. We had like Cole Perfetti, plays in the NHL. We had
no slouches,
like Will Cooley playing in the NHL. So those guys, I mean, yeah, they're obviously top of the game for our age group, but there's a ton.
Yeah, that's incredible. What's your go-to pregame meal? I don't know if it's provided by the team or if you have your own thing you get. Like,
I just like, sometimes it changes, but I just go with like a carb, a protein, whether it's a rice or a pasta. I've been doing a lot. They have like the gluten-free pasta bar at school. Yeah. So I've been doing that. You get some like chicken.
It sits a little better maybe?
Cut it up, and then like a little spinach, and I like to do like peppers in the pasta. I don't know if that's weird, but like cut it up. Yeah, and then coffee and apple. Usually eat an apple like soon, like right before we go out, because I saw something one time it was like black coffee and an apple is like just as good as like a pre-workout, and like I didn't care
Here's
who
one of
said
these,
it. I didn't care who said it. I was like, oh, that's true, so I'm gonna do
If
it.
you believe it's true, it's
That's
true.
what I mean. So I'm like,
Straight
apple and a black coffee will get me going. Like, fair enough. So that's kind of been my thing.
You're playing a lot of minutes, so you eating that intermission too, or what?
I should be, but
You know,
I usually
typically?
do like an electrolyte packet, like in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
stall, like one of those. Like I'll have one of those drinks going, and then sometimes they have those like Gatorade chews.
Yeah.
Crush one of those, but I don't usually like a lot of flavor in my mouth. Like when we're
Yeah.
playing like
Yeah, fair
Gatorade,
enough.
I hate that. So yeah, I should probably be. Usually like a little. I'll have like a protein bar, take a couple bites of it.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
I can't really stomach much. Like even
Yeah.
after the game, like this year my priority is like maintaining a lot more weight.
Yeah.
And like after the game, I have no appetite. I don't know what that science is, but like I can't eat anything. Usually, you burn a ton of calories. You're like, oh, I gotta eat. I just like I feel like my body's still in that like fight or flight.
Yeah.
Like
you almost gotta meditate after a game or something.
Yeah,
to get yourself down.
I can't eat anything. So over the course of the season, you're losing like 3,000 calories a night.
Yeah.
Every weekend.
It's not good, Mike.
Yeah. So I do. I end
Especially
up
when you're
eating
playing Saturday then Sunday, or when you start Friday.
Yeah.
You got to start the recovery process ASAP. So
right
you
away.
can
I
listen
mean, we
up
roll
again
out right
after.
away with our strength coach and all that, but no, I do eat, but just like right after the game, I'm like, man, I need a few hours to like
Yeah.
to relax. But
Rolling out and that, it's all well and good, but you got to
gotta
eat,
fuel.
sleep, and hydration, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a little bit of lessons going on here. I can't not coach, you know what I mean?
Yeah, gotta get it right.
Last one, whether it's yours or someone else's, what's the weirdest hockey superstition you ever seen?
There's so many. I have a lot of really weird ones, but it's less of like a superstition. I think it's more they go hand in hand, it's like routine.
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, I'm in my routine. Like whether
I
it's
love
like
watching the goalies.
yeah,
They have all the
that's a
but-
different level.
That's different level. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but it's just like I like my favorite ones are the ones where like they come naturally and they're like with someone else on your team. Like I used to have ones where it's like we play the same song every game.
Yeah.
And when it gets to a certain point on time I skates, like I always made eye contact
Yeah.
with another guy, and that kind of shows me that I'm locked in because I'm thinking about my like I'm not thinking about the game, but I'm thinking about okay, I'm prepared. So I'm like I remembered this. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
you
prepared.
didn't let that moment in the song just go by.
I'm locked in. I'm like I remember it. He remembers it. I look at him. Okay, we laugh. Like
Yeah.
boom. We're like we had some weird ones like in Nanaimo. Like me and my buddy would grab an apple and we'd go pick a certain chair, sit in it. He would like kick the garbage, like just like stupid stuff like that. That just but like keeps it light and it's fun. But some guys have some. I'm trying to think of like some insane ones, but hockey's weird like that. Like people are weird.
If you're gonna
like,
be amazing at anything, you gotta be a little weird.
yeah, funny ones are like when guys like haven't scored or something, they put their stick like in the garbage can before the game, looking for like a greasy goal. Like they need like a garbage goal, so they like put their stick in with all the apple cores and the tape and then bring it out for the game. Like, just
Apple cores in the black cop.
stupid stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Yeah.
That's awesome. Like we could probably talk for hours,
Easily.
but I know you're a busy guy, so really appreciate your time, guys. Performance Matters podcast. We'll have you back on one day here for round 2, but for now, that's all we
Awesome.
got.
Thanks.
Appreciate
Fun.
it.
Cheers.